As new housing business plans get underway for areas affected by the Alameda fire, increasing supply prices of lumber and metal are presenting a challenge in those rebuilding costs. Newswatch 12's Brett Taylor has that story.
So it's a perfect storm.
Lumber prices across the United States continue to stay near record high prices during the pandemic, something that Mel Weeks says he's never seen before.
I've never seen in 37 years a wave this big. This is a tsunami.
Weeks says that the rise in price for lumber not only can be attributed to an increase in demand to rebuild homes from wildfires and consumer home projects, but also because of a lack of manpower because of the pandemic.
We have a shortage of manpower. Too many people are still on unemployment, so therefore they're not going back to the mills and cutting the lumber. The mills have full log decks, they just can't get the lumber produced. Once the lumber is produced, then we have to find a truck to put it under. We have a shortage of trucking right now as well. I feel very sorry for the people that are trying to rebuild their houses from the Alameda fire.
With the lack of people helping at the mills to push out products, more delays and price increases are inevitable.
Prior to the pandemic, when we would order a house package full of windows, it was about a 10-day lead time. That lead time's now been extended out to 8 to 10 weeks. So every day in the construction process costs money, and when you're having to wait that far ahead of time, or, that far out, it's costing somebody some money somewhere.
And lumber isn't the only raw material that's dealing with this dilemma.
Those metal plates are in short supply because the manufacturer that makes those cannot get enough steel to manufacture them. Okay, it's building related, but if they can't get the steel, who else can't get the steel? So anybody that's manufacturing the steel right now is having an issue getting the raw product.
Organizations like Habitat for Humanity, helping to rebuild homes in the Rogue Valley, are also now having to find new sources of revenue to help pay for these increased costs.
We know that prices have increased 120% or more. That means for us, we'll have to raise more money.
These increased costs could delay them even further from rebuilding homes.
We know it's going to increase our costs, so that's going to take us a little longer. Each home, 2 years ago, we had to raise $60,000 in cash to build a home. Last year it was $80,000. This year we expect it to increase even more.
Businesses like DNS Harley-Davidson, who announced last week that they will be rebuilding in the Phoenix community, are also having to face the ever-changing battles of increased prices.
We're going to do metal building completely, then decide to do with part wood building to save money, but now wood is getting even more expensive than steel. So it's an ever-changing battle.
State that no matter what, they will find a way to come back to the community.
It is going to happen. It's like, well, we can't build for that much money, but you just can't stop. We have to build.
Reporting in Medford, Brett Taylor, Newswatch 12.